Welcome back to the Baltimore Orioles franchise on MLB the Show. I'm your host, longtime listener. Be sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Comment below, as it is going to be a matchup of AL East opponents here. The Blue Jays hosting the Orioles, who are out to a pretty comfortable lead in the division. The Blue Jays coming into this one 3 games below 500. Looking to get on track, and Alek Manoah on the hill for them. He has been outstanding this year. You see the whip sitting at 1.23, the ERA just above 2. He's 4-2 across 11 starts, so not getting a ton of run support from a lineup that when you look at the names on it, you would think would generate some serious run support. But nonetheless, starting things off, it's Austin Hayes, ground ball to short, and he's going to be retired. Now we'll take a look at the Orioles lineup as they come into this one 6th in the American League in slugging. Jorge Colon slides down to the 8th hole. Jahmai Jones going to get the start at right field with Santander getting the day off. Everybody else in the lineup as usual. You see Austin Hayes still has that average up over 300. Next batter, Jahmai Jones, another ground ball to short. That's Segura handles that one as they've got Andrelton Simmons playing second and Segura at short. Not sure I agree with that strategy, but working out so far. And then there's Corey Seager, rips one into the gap, but that's going to hang up and be caught for the final out of the inning. Now a look at the Orioles left-hander, John Means on the bump. His ERA is 1.82 and a .9 whip through 11 starts this year. He's 6-2 and right in the thick of things with the Cy Young discussion. The way he's pitching, if he keeps it up, he's got a really good shot. Starting things off is Andrelton Simmons. He just kind of gets jammed on that one. Seager runs under it, catches that. That's the first out. Now we'll look at the Blue Jays lineup. As again, you look at the top section of this lineup, really down through Reese McGuire. You'd think these guys would be generating some serious runs, but not getting it done so far is Simmons not even playing defense today, and Reese McGuire having a really rough year so far. Next batter is Segura. He watches a really good-looking pitch there that is not rolled a strike, and that's going to be a free pass, so that the Blue Jays have their first base runner. But he's now going to head back to the dugout as he tries to steal second, but Adley Rutschman denies him, and that's the second out of the inning. Next pitch to Freddie Freeman is taken into center field. They had the shift, or well, they were playing him kind of the pull, and that gets down and into the gap. It's cut off. He's going to have a double and a runner in scoring position with 2 away. It's Vlad Guerrero, 0-2. Couldn't hold up on a curve down and away, and we're scoreless through 1. And now these pitchers are going to kind of get settled in here and just start rattling off a bunch of zeros in the runs column. As there he gets the swing and strikeout on Devers. Pulls the string on Mancini, gets him swinging, and then Jorge Colon. There are runners on first and second here after a couple of singles, but he swings through a changeup, and that's going to do it for the Orioles in the second. And John Means, the runner on first, he gets a swing and strikeout there. Second K of the ball game for him. Then Forrest Wall, swing and a miss. That ends the inning, and we go to the third, still scoreless. Manoah going back to work. It's Bobby Witt Jr. There's that changeup again, and he picks up another strikeout. And that brings up Jahmai Jones with 2 outs, frozen on a fastball on the inside corner. And that's it for the Orioles. Now on the top of the 4th. With one out and 1 on, it's a ground ball that he fields behind the back, throws to second, and starts the double play to end the inning. Nice play there. Freddie Freeman down on strikes. That's the first out of the 4th inning. Then with 1 on, it's a ground ball to first, and the Orioles get themselves a double play, and that's going to end the inning. And through 4 innings, we are still scoreless here north of the border. After a leadoff base hit by Mancini, it's Adley Rutschman, ground ball to second, another double play. The Orioles are held scoreless. On the bottom of the 5th, Reese McGuire down on strikes. That's the first out of the inning. That would be another scoreless frame there. Bobby Witt Jr. down on strikes again. 6 Ks for Manoah to that point. Then he gets Austin Hayes on a nice slider down and away for the second out of the inning. Make it 7 Ks for Manoah. On to the 6th, it's Freddie Freeman caught looking at a fastball at the knees. Through 6 innings, we are scoreless. Now on to the 7th. Manoah getting up there in the pitch count. He's at 88 right there, but a leadoff walk to Corey Seager apparently rattles the coach, and they're going to turn to the bullpen here. It's Jordan Romano, who has been pretty good for the Blue Jays so far this year, but interesting that they pulled, they used the hook on Manoah at that point. Next batter is Rafael Devers. A 2-2 pitch, a slider comes in and hits him. That makes it first and second, nobody out. Then a pitch gets away from Reese McGuire, and the runners do advance. So now runners on second and third. Still nobody out in the inning. And Ryan Mountcastle, 3-2 pitch, crushes one, but pulled it foul. Next pitch is a fastball up and in that he just could not get the barrel on, and that's a big strikeout there for the first out of the inning. Then it's Trey Mancini. 1-1 pitch is up the middle and into center field. That's going to score Seager, and it's going to score Devers, and it's 2-0 Orioles. So they go to the bullpen, and it does not pay off as they let down Alek Manoah, and now the Blue Jays trail 2-0. Next batter, Adley Rutschman, swings through a slider. That one's a hanger, but he just couldn't stay back on it, and that's the second out of the inning. Then Jorge Colon, a 2-2 pitch is lined into center field. That gets down. Mancini going to try and head for third. Here comes the throw, and he's going to beat it. So now runners on the corners, 2 away, and Bobby Witt Jr. at the plate. He goes down on strikes again. Rough day for him at the plate. And the Blue Jays leave the couple runners stranded there, but the Orioles are now out in front as we head to the stretch. It's 2-0, and John Means still in control. As you can see, just 2 hits allowed to this point. And he has just been outstanding. Again, entering play, he's leading the American League in the ERA challenge, and Alek Manoah, as you saw there, was second right behind him. 2 away in the inning. It's a ground ball to second. Seager fields, throws to first, and it's 7 scoreless innings for John Means. His pitch count is getting up there, though, so we'll see what the Orioles decide to do in the 8th. Now we go to the top of the 8th, and it's going to be Ramirez coming in for the Blue Jays. He's been pretty sharp for them so far this season, and he is going to get a 1-2. Actually, no, he strands a runner at third there. As Devers down on strikes, they had a runner just 90 feet away from making it 3-0. And now in the top of the bottom of the 8th, the Orioles are going to turn to Paul Fry. He's got a 3.21 ERA on the season. He's been pretty steady, as he has been for the last couple of years. But first batter going to slice one into left that gets down just in front of Jorge Colon, and it's a leadoff single. Next batter, Forrest Wall, ground ball to first. Mountcastle fields, spins, but throws it into left field. And instead of a potential double play, or at minimum a runner on first with 1 out, instead it's going to be first and third, nobody out. Then Miguel Rojas gets one off the end of the bat, but that is going to get down in shallow right center field. It scores the runner from third, and now still first and third, nobody out. And it's just a 1-run ball game, and that's it for Paul Fry. Came in, faced 3 guys, didn't get anybody out, 2 hits allowed, and they turn to Travis Lakins. He's been pretty good for them. As you can see his numbers, they asked him to kind of step in and fill that setup role this year, and he has done an admirable job so far. First batter he faces, though, Andrelton Simmons, swinging first pitch, lines a cutter into center field, and we are tied at 2. So there goes that 2-run lead just like that. Now they're going to try and bunt to move those runners up, but Segura pops it up. Rutschman quick to get under that one, and that's going to be the first out of the inning, and that brings up Freddie Freeman. 3-1 pitch to him is a fastball that misses low. That'll load the bases now for Vlad Guerrero Jr. Just 1 out in the inning, and he gets a hanging curve, but he misses it. It is going to be deep enough to where that runner from third has a good chance to score, as Colon's throw is offline, and the Orioles see that lead disappear and now trail 3-2. 2 outs in the inning here. He does get Cavaviccio swinging to end the inning, but the Orioles came into that inning leading 2-0, and they exit trailing 3-2 as we head now to the 9th inning. And the Blue Jays turn to their closer, Tommy Kahnle. He has not been very good this year. 14 of 17 in save opportunities, a 4.58 ERA. Never what you want to see from the guy coming in to try and shut the door. First batter, Ryan Mountcastle, 1-1 pitch, back up the middle. That pitch was right down the heart of the strike zone, and it's a base hit to start things off. So a good start for the Orioles, and we'll see if they can manage to scratch across a run. Trey Mancini swinging first pitch. He takes one into right field. That's another fastball right down the middle. Mountcastle goes first to third, and now it's runners on the corners. Still nobody out. and they're just 90 feet away, but Adley Rutschman down on strikes. Nice pitch there to get him to swing through that one. That's a big first out because now a double play would end it. But Jorge Colon going to come through here. He lifts a fly ball into left center field. The run, it wasn't real deep, but his momentum took him kind of away from home plate. Castle tags and scores, and we are tied at 3. Now the Orioles, a wise decision here is they are going to pinch run at first. Clay Hopkins comes in, and he is going to try and steal second here to get into scoring position. There he goes. 1-1 pitch to Bobby Witt was low. Wasn't a bad throw from McGuire, but Hopkins is in there. Now he's in scoring position. A base hit could give him the lead. There's Bobby Witt having a rough day so far, but on a 3-1 pitch, takes it back up the middle. Here comes Hopkins. He's going to score. Witt wisely advances to second on the throw to the plate, and it's now 4-3 Orioles as we are going seesaw style with that scoreboard, and now they lead it 4-3. Jonathan Holder coming in. He's been awful for the Blue Jays so far this season. It is a small sample size, but he only needs to get one out to get him out of this inning with just a 1-run deficit, and he's going to get Austin Hayes swinging. So it was 3-2 coming into the top of the ninth. It's now 4-3 as they saw that lead disappear, and the Orioles with an opportunity to close it out. Now, Roberto Osuna has pitched the last few days, and he's been terrible, and they've got some lefties coming up in the lineup. So the Orioles going to go to Derek Gorman to try and get the save in this one, and he has been very good for them this season. First batter, Reese McGuire, ground ball to short, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. It wasn't a bad at-bat from him as he took 7 pitches to get him, but that's the first out of the inning. Josh Lowe swinging first pitch. That's a ground ball to short, and Bobby Witt sends that over to first for the second out of the inning, and now it's up to Forrest Wall. That was an 8-pitch at bat, but he swung through the last one, and that is going to do it. The Orioles win it 4-3. What a ball game as that one went back and forth there in the later innings, and the Orioles pick up a nice win on the road against the Blue Jays. Again, the final 4-3 as we look at the box score here. Player of the game honors go to John Means. 7 innings, 2 hits. He walked 3 but struck out 6 and didn't give up any earned runs, improving that ERA on the season. Travis Lakins got the win. Tommy Kahnle gets saddled with the loss as he did not pitch well in this one. Got 2 outs but gave up 3 hits and 2 earned runs. Bobby Witt Jr., the big RBI that basically drove in the game-winning run, and he struck out 3 times other than that. The Orioles 9 hits, 2 walks, 13 strikeouts. Stolen base for Hopkins was huge. And then the bullpen, outside of Paul Fry, did a pretty good job, and in his defense, a double play would have really minimized the damage that was done there in the 8th inning. So that's that. The Blue Jays had 5 hits, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts on the day. A double for Freddie Freeman. That was the only extra base hit. Segura stole a base. Manoah pitched well. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 1 earned, and struck out 7, but gets a no decision as the bullpen couldn't hold it down for him. Kahnle with a rough 9th, and the Blue Jays see this one slip away as they fall by a final of 4-3. And now, before we are done, it's going to be draft time. And now it's time for the 2024 amateur draft. Now, the Orioles will be selecting 28th here in the first round. So, obviously, a lot of the top prospect kind of guys are probably off the board. Those can't miss prospects with super high potential are certainly going to go early. You see a lot of 80s up there. You see some guys with low potential, which is a little bit interesting. But bottom line, picking this late in the draft, we have to be pretty strategic about what we try and bring into the organization. So let's sort by ETA to the majors, because we want guys that are pretty good already and have high potential that are fully scouted. Now, I didn't look at, you see these guys here and it's like, well, why didn't you scout them? And I didn't scout a lot of relief pitchers. I generally don't like to. I do occasionally, and I do some, no matter what. But these guys I just didn't for whatever reason. Actually, I think it's just because, I don't want a 25-year-old middle reliever when I don't know exactly what I'm going to get out of him, so I didn't bother scouting him. I probably should have scouted this guy, but anyway. I think Willard Sandoval is the clear choice here. He's 21 years old, a right-handed second baseman. Basically, this guy could take the place of Jahmai Jones in a season or two because he does all the same stuff that Jahmai Jones does. He's got decent contact, below average power, but it's not terrible. Decent plate skills, decent fielding, actually probably above average fielding, but just a decent arm. And then he's got pretty good speed as well. So with a 75 potential, that's probably a high B or somewhere in that neighborhood. We fully scouted him, so I really like what he brings to the table for us, especially considering when we look the rest of the way down this list, there's nobody from top to bottom, even close to Major League ready, that is like an A potential. The only other one that I might consider as a possible option, I guess, would be, I mean, there's another B potential here, but this is it. Willard Sandoval, you're our guy. Welcome to the Orioles franchise. Now, we get a competitive balance pick here in round A, we'll call it, or they call it. Now, let's sort again, and obviously most of those guys that we just saw are still going to be here. But we're still looking for somebody with like B-ish potential. And how about this Glenn Calderon? 19-year-old first baseman. It looks like he's going to be a C potential. If we get lucky, it's a high C potential, and the guy can hit. He's a right-handed hitter, left-handed thrower. He hits lefties pretty well. He'll hit righties okay, and he's got good plate skills. His defense sucks, and he can't run, but he's a first baseman. That's not that big of a deal. And the fact that he's 19, I like the idea of looking at a first base. That's so Montcastle might be gone after this season. This guy could be the next one to come into the organization and maybe make a splash long term. But realistically, now that I think about this, if he's not going to be ready for a while, why not look at somebody that's got like a better shot of having super high potential? So let's actually sort by, wait a minute. Yeah, let's sort by potential. And now let's look at what we got here. We want guys that ideally would have decent overall. Like here's a 60 overall. He's 22 years old, a switch hitter. He's got pretty good power. The plate skills are lacking a little bit, but he's a first base / left fielder. I like that he's a switch hitter. And with those power numbers, he could turn into a stud. So that's a maybe. Here's another. He's 20 years old. Also probably an A potential. He's got less power, better contact, better plate skills, and a better glove. I want some power, though, at first base. Why don't we go with this dude? Yeah. So, I mean, if I look down the list here, of all the 80 potential guys that are fully scouted, he's got the best overall with what about this dude? Derek Christian. Decent pop. And he's a pretty good glove behind the dish. He also plays third base, which is interesting. Let's just see if he's still there whenever we get to that point. Because we've got Adley Rutschman. So this is our guy, Sam Lintner. But he was the one with the, yeah. You're our man, Sam. Now, who was that catcher? And is he still there? So sort by potential. He gone. Dang it. This guy. So I could get another second baseman, or I could get a shortstop. Now, let's see what we're looking at here. A shortstop who can play pretty much any infield position. He's below average at pretty much everything, except for his arm and his speed, but he's 18. So I think he's the better decision. He's going to be terrible as far as his overall, but he's young at 18 years old and could turn into a decent player way down the road. Let's just, yeah, I don't even have any 75s to pick from, so we're going to go for potential here in these early rounds, hoping for some upside. Then, now when we get deeper into the draft, we got to be a little bit more aware of the fact that, okay, their potential's not going to be that great. So we need guys who are like probably a 60 minimum for the overall. We already looked at him. You know what? This guy can actually hit. I'm going to, yeah, we're taking him. That's another first baseman, but it's okay. Okay. It's getting to be slim pickings now. 65, 60. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of guys scouted, apparently. What round are we in? Jeez. This is going to be bad. So let's sort by the overall. Let's just take this guy. He's supposed to be an 80 potential, 80, like a, he's basically, they're saying he's a major league ready relief pitcher, left-handed, fastball, cutter, curve. Let's just see what we get. Hope we get lucky. There was another relief pitcher there that they also had listed as, you know, major league ready. Yeah, and he's gone now. So let's now start looking at overalls. And we've got a 65 overall, 70. You know what though? Let's get a starting pitcher. Sure, why not? 70 potential, 60 overall. He's 23 years old. Whatever. We're at the point now, I haven't scouted anybody, so we have no idea what we're getting out of these guys. We just have to hope they have, like, C potential or better. We're going to take this other starter because he's basically the best looking player on the board at the moment. All right, so let's advance now and see what we got. All right, so we've got 3 guys at the top with B, like mid B to high B potential, which isn't the greatest, but Willard Sandoval is already a 73 overall. His bat is the one thing that is lacking. So he's going to need a few years to improve before he can realistically take that Jahmai Jones role, but not too bad there. And then Lintner, the first baseman, has no contact, and his vision is an issue, but he's got pop. He's a guy that maybe, you know, if he doesn't develop, that's fine. We might be able to use him as a trade piece somewhere down the road. Now, we knew that this guy was going to be a project. He's a 59 overall. He's going to have to learn how to hit. In the process, he'll get better defensively, and he's got speed. So if he can just put the ball in play, you never know what that guy could turn into. Calderon is a guy, 63 overall, C potential. A little bit disappointing. I'm glad I didn't take him earlier because I think we were looking at him earlier in the draft. But he'll hit lefties pretty well, at least. Doesn't play very good defense, though. So maybe a guy that in a few years could DH in a platoon DH role, but that's obviously not very valuable to me. David Chin is a 68 overall, but he's a high D potential. His ratings or his attributes or whatever aren't that bad. His control sucks, and he gives up a lot of hits. So don't expect him to develop a ton. And then we've got mid-C potential guys here that both are in the low 60s for their overall. So they're just roster fillers. But not a terrible draft. You know, these 2 guys are the 2 that I kind of have to hope that I can find a use for in the relatively near future. Sandoval's going to have to learn to hit a little bit. Lintner is going to have to get better with his contact and his vision, but the potential is there, so we'll see what we get. But guys, that is going to do it for this episode. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and we'll see y'all next time.